Uh-oh.
Yes, boy!
French toast is the exchange student that you have like a 3-week affair with.
Fake. We can see that you don't have pants on.
Somebody hit somebody with a pie. Do something.
Giovanni yelling we're out of time as we go off the air.
Giovanni yelling a lot of things tonight.
And welcome to the Mark It Down podcast.
Hi, hey, hello. Welcome to a Mark It Down production. My name is Skibbo. I am being represented by this goose today. I took a picture of it in Central Park about 8 months ago, and that is the avatar that I'm using today. But I'm here to talk to you about Monday Night Raw, the go-home Raw before the Royal Rumble, the most exciting time of the year. That's the saying that everyone uses for the Rumble, and only for the Rumble, no other time of year. And this episode of Raw was fine. It was fine. It was okay. There were a couple high points, one of which I'm going to start with right now, and it was the thing that was just on the television, and by television I mean Netflix, and that was CM Punk confronting Cody Rhodes. They interacted, they had a promo on the Go Home Raw before the Royal Rumble. That sounds familiar, doesn't it? I think it does, because that's what happened last year. But the dynamic was a little different. This was after the main event, which I'll talk about later briefly, but, after he came out to help Sami, he accidentally got kicked in the face, and he was not happy. And then CM Punk came out to be like, hey man, are you okay? Not because you just got kicked in the face, but because things have been getting to you lately, and you're starting to feel the burden of being champion for so long and being the guy for so long. And I've been there before. About 300 days into my title reign, I became a different guy. I started to not like myself, and I hated the guy I became. So I'm just checking to see if you're okay. And Cody, a little disgruntled, a little cranky Cody, after being kicked in the face, was just like, why are you out here? We are friends, yes, but why are you out here? Cut to the chase. And eventually, Punk did cut to the chase, like, well, let me tell you what's going to happen. In the short term, you're going to go face Kevin Owens at the Rumble, and if you manage to beat him, you're going to have someone who just won the Royal Rumble coming after you in the main event of WrestleMania, and they're going to put an end to your title reign because you're exhausted. The good news is that person is me, your friend. And this was the money line of he's like, I'm not going to stab you in the back. Because we are friends, I am going to stab you in the front. And Cody was very uncharacteristic. He was not taking these jabs lightly. He was visibly angry. He was a little, very growly, like he had a constant, snarl about him because he got kicked in the face. But it was a nice change of pace for Cody, who just told him, I spent years chasing you. We all were chasing you. You were this figure that stood, loomed over all of us for so long. He's like, but the roles have reversed. I am not chasing you. You are chasing me. And it's a nice twist on the normal dynamic of people jabbing at Punk, like, well, I've made event at WrestleMania, and blah blah. It's a cooler version of that line to CM Punk. So I really like that. To mildly address this tweet, this crowd sucked, bro. They were garbage tonight. Atlanta, you are a disappointment. I guess we were too busy being concerned with having celebrities and musicians in the front row than to actually be a crowd. They did not pop for so much of this show. And granted, the show wasn't fantastic, but come on, Atlanta. But anyway, Cody, Punk, very nice dynamic. And a good go home segment to a show that I was waning on for the most part. So that perked me back up and got me invested again. And it's just good Rumble build. To me, even if this isn't a match we're going to get a Mania, even if this isn't the direction, even if CM Punk's not the person who wins the Royal Rumble, these are the segments you need to do to sell the Royal Rumble. You need to make it important to everybody in it and give them motivation as if they were going to win it, even if they are not. Because that's how you make the match special. And this match is special on hype alone. Like the chances of this Royal Rumble being bad is so slim that they would have to actively try to fuck it up. So this was good. And it contrasts well with the beginning of the show, which I'm going to jump to now, where Seth Rollins comes out for his little song and dance and cuts his promo. It was fine. Not the absolute best from Seth, but he said when I'm a focused version of myself, there's nobody better. And whether I believe that's true or not, Seth believes it to be true, and that's what's most important. And he talks about the Rumble and how he's on his path to redemption. Last week he beat Drew McIntyre. He's like, I'll toss out everybody in the Rumble. Cena, Jay, Drew, Sami. Seth is getting a little bit of a negative reaction doing this. Little boost matters here and there because it's in the air. You just feel it with Seth. There's something jarring. He's trying not to, but we kind of feel the inevitable heel turn coming. But he is interrupted by the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther, who comes out and basically says, "Why have you not been trying to fight me for the world title?" He's like, "Where have you been? I've been fighting scrubs like Jey Uso and Finn Balor. Like, where's actual competition been?" He was like, "I hope you win the Royal Rumble and choose me because it's 2025 and you're not the best wrestler in the world anymore. I am." Another good money line and another tease of a program that we're not going to get at Mania, most likely. Maybe we do, but I'm going to say most likely we don't get that. But it's still planting the seeds that, hey, maybe that is the direction. There's so many plates spinning right now for the Rumble, and they're doing a great job of balancing. And we're like, is this person going to win? Is this person going to win? Is this person going to win? Or are they going to challenge Cody or Gunther, or is someone else going to be champion by then? There's so much going on, so many moving parts that it works out phenomenally. So, as much as the segment was kind of nothing special, it still did its job. Are we comments saying, are we getting Punk Cody in a triple threat? Does Logan win the Rumble over Punk in the final? Bro, if Logan wins the Rumble, I think there's gonna be a riot. Oh man, it'll be kind of funny, but I don't think we could get a triple threat for the other title. I think that's something that people are kind of looking past, but I think because there's so many focused stories and like in the potential singles matches that everyone's just looking way past triple threats this year. But I mean, if I still think we're getting Cena Cody, but I don't know. I don't know what Gunther does at Mania, so maybe he could have a triple threat and be the third wheel again. That's not going to be great for his title reign, but we'll see. But anyway, Gunther and Seth are interrupted by Logan Paul, speaking of. And Logan Paul, I got to give him some credit. He had the most logical take about the Royal Rumble because everyone's been going around saying, I'm going to throw out all 29 other guys and I'm going to win the Royal Rumble. And Logan Paul's like, I'm not eliminating all 29 other guys. That's henchman work. I'm just going to be smart and win the Royal Rumble. I'm not going to beat up everybody in the match. It's like very, very smart. I wish it was a less shitty person that had that killer pr- thought process about the Rumble. But, good stuff. The crowd wasn't super into this. Like, they kind of got into Boo and Logan, but it didn't feel fantastic. Like this was fine. Like this was a decent opening segment, but again, it was important because it got the different stories going on in the Rumble. Seth mentioning Roman, uh, and then later in the night, Punk being in there, and another segment which we'll get into eventually. But it was pretty cool. Uh, we'll jump around a little bit, but a brief interaction between Sami Zayn and CM Punk while he's getting interviewed. Uh, basically, just says, Sami says, "I heard what you said last week. You're right. We're not on the same level. I've actually main evented WrestleMania." Cool, good line, but we keep hearing it to Punk. It's starting to become less special, but Sami needed to do this because Punk took a huge fucking jab at him last week, so makes sense. But Cross comes up to Sami and is like, "Sami, you're great. Well, you have to do important stuff right now, and you need to focus on yourself." And he's laying those seeds of doubt in Sami. And I've warmed up to Cross a lot in the past few months, but I don't want him stepping too high up the card. But we'll see where this goes. So we'll see how it plays out in the Rumble. I am cautiously intrigued at the moment. Nothing crazy. So, A-Town down under on Raw. That sucks. And then we had Judgment Day versus the War Raiders in a tag team championship match. It was Dom and JD. Fun match, but the biggest takeaway from here is JD McDonough took an absolutely insane bump where he did a moonsault off the second rope to the floor on the outside, banged his head so motherfucking hard on the announce desk that, like, genuinely, I'm amazed that the match didn't stop right there. I think Cole was amazed the match didn't stop right there because after JD got up, he spent the rest of the match giving JD flowers, like, and praising him. If you watch WWE regularly, commentary shits on JD McDonough nonstop. So for them to just break from that routine to give him props for continuing the match after that, big ups to him. Supposedly he's okay, but I also saw a picture of him like collapsed on the floor, like not even fully in gorilla, like right in the entranceway. Perfect picture perfect, producer boy. Like, bro, is he alive? Because that's like not on the show, So I hope he's okay. Word is he's okay, but shout out to him. Good. It's always nice when the crowd comes together because when he got back up, the crowd did applaud for him. So it's nice for even the crowd to break character in situations like that. So hopefully he's okay. But of course, the War Raiders won the match. Of course, uh, it was a fun match. It's WWE TV matches sometimes aren't my favorites, but this was inoffensive and fun stuff. Xavier Woods fought Rey Mysterio, and he got a promo. They were backstage, and they were saying how his parents, his family, were going to be in the front row. He got him front row tickets, and they're like, "Are they here yet?" And he's like, "I don't know. I haven't heard from them, but I assume they are." And then they went up to Ludwig Kaiser and Pete Dunne, who were talking shit about Penta, and they were like, "Yeah, yeah, I agree. We can't trust those guys in masks, right?" And even Ludwig Kaiser, a fucking Bond villain of a human being, wouldn't dap up the New Day. I Look, that was kind of funny. I'm in two minds about this New Day situation. The turn was great. I think the follow up has been iffy. Like, there was the greatness of them getting booed so much they couldn't talk. There was the greatness of Kofi saying, "It's not like we beat him up afterwards. We just said words to him." But then it's been dragging on with nothing happening for weeks and weeks. And then finally Kofi wrestles last week and fucking loses. And then Woods loses here. Like, what are we doing? Like, cool, the match ended because Woods' family came out like halfway during the match with New Day suck shirts. And then they basically led to the finish. So, like, cool, like, there was shenanigans, but just do something substantial with them. Why they turned heel? They turned heel because they kept losing, And now they've turned heel and they're still losing. It's like we got to get to the next step with this soon. It's not going incredibly well, but I don't know. Also, his family super fucked up showing up to the show late. Like you didn't know what time his match was scheduled for. Like you really what you should have done was be there for the whole show because there's other JD McDonough almost killed himself and you weren't even in your seat for that shit. Like that's fucked up. You should have been there the whole show, and then when Woods' match starts, you get up and leave, and yeah, hopefully come back after the match is over. But still, you know, be considerate. People could have been in those seats. Those seats are expensive. Are you gonna appreciate that those like 4 or 5 tickets probably cost $25,000? Like, what are we doing here, folks? I didn't know Xavier Woods had that much money. But I digress. And then more nothing kind of happened. Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins met up, and he was like, I kicked your back on last week. And Seth was like, I know, but like, come on, you can't blame me for being mad. And it's like, yeah, fair. So then Jey Uso makes an entrance, right? And it's like, cool, he's got another rapper with him, Quavo. And it's always nice to see the entrance, but then pretty much just says, yeah, I'm gonna win the Royal Rumble while standing on the announce table. And that's it. Lyra Valkyria was interviewed since first time on TV since winning the title 2 weeks ago. And she says, yeah, I'm going to be a fighting champion, but first I'm going to try to win the Royal Rumble. And then Chad Gable and American Made roll up, like, we're going to take that. And she actually has a nice retort where she's like, this is the closest either of you are ever going to get to an Intercontinental Championship. Nice line, but, what are you going to do? Then we had a women's tag match where the champions, Bianca and Naomi, took on Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez in a non-title match. And a decent match, had some good moments, had some slow moments, and then the heels cheated to win. Like, not cheated super strong. Dom, in an attempt to make up to Liv, distracted the referee after Liv got hit with the KOD. And because of that, and a little bit more, Raquel hits Naomi while the ref isn't looking. Liv pins Naomi. Cool. So they're going to get a tag title shot. That's probably for the best. Probably should get the tag titles off of Bianca and Naomi soon because I assume Jade comes back at the Rumble and you're going to finally progress the story. Another story I think's gone on too long with no real progression. So hopefully at the Rumble we can move into that next gear. I understand waiting for the Rumble for this one because the Rumble is the perfect spot to not resolve, but to further this without any long-winded speeches necessary. Like all the story will be told through the brief interactions in the ring where she decides to hurl Naomi or Bianca or whoever attacked her over the top rope. So hopefully we can get to that real soon because it's been treading water for a while. So we'll see what the next step is. But cool, okay match. But it was more about progressing the tag title scene going forward. And who knows what the tag titles are going to be doing at WrestleMania. We'll see. But we'll move on. Rhea Ripley got interviewed. She's like, I'm the best. Doesn't matter who wins the Rumble. And then Bailey comes in and is like, I won the Rumble last year. And even though I lost to Nia Jax last week on Raw, I'm still going to talk shit. And I'm going to win the Rumble again. And, maybe it'll be you and me at Mania. Which, again, I don't think that's what's going to happen. But that's good Rumble build. You set up red herrings and, potential outcomes just to plant that in people's heads so they consider it. So it makes it seem like people are actually trying to win the match because as good as the men's build for the Rumble has been, the women's has been very, very lacking in comparison. Up until Friday, like 3 women were declared for the Rumble. And it's like, there's an ongoing debate on whether people should be declaring or should be a surprise. But that those are not two contradicting viewpoints. The Rumble's supposed to be both the surprises do not come in the shape of people who are always on the roster being in the Rumble. When Io Sky is in the Rumble and Zoe Stark are in the Rumble, that's not a surprise. Those are the people that are there all the time. Of course, they are in the Rumble. The surprises come from the returns, which, I think we all have at least 3 returns we're expecting at the Rumble. So, like, those are where the surprises land. The returns, the call ups, the debuts. Those are 2 ideologies that sound like a direct contradiction, but they're not. Surprises have nothing to do with people declaring themselves or not. Anyone who's on TV weekly should be declaring themselves for the Rumble and acting like they want to win it and like they will win it. So yeah, is Bailey gonna win back-to-back Rumbles? Absolutely not. But she believes she can, and when she's in the final 6 or final 4, it'll mean that much more. Or if she gets eliminated early, it'll mean that much more. Which, side tangent, just in case I don't get a chance to say it before the Rumble, please stop having Iron Men and women go from the first 4 positions to the last 4. Make that shit feel special. It does not feel special. It feels like an obligation now. Like, make that shit important. Why did Bailey have to win from like number 3 last year, or number 2? Just have it be a little more rare. You got 2 Rumbles to book now, but it's far less impressive if it keeps happening. Tangent aside. Decent build. Bailey turns around. Io Sky is right there. I'll see you Saturday. Great. Why did Io need to wait till the go home show to declare? See, this is all stuff that could have been built up. Like, that's good. They have history. They were in one of the better matches of Mania last year. Fantastic. Why didn't this happen 3 weeks ago? And then you can have Bailey talk about it. You can have Io talk about it. Like, why can't they build it the same way the men's Rumble is getting built? Why isn't there more of a target on Bailey's back? Like, yeah, you won last year, so fuck you. We're gonna throw you out. Like, it's so simple. Like, they know it, but like they just show where their priorities lie and how much effort they're gonna put into one over the other. But at least it was build. I don't want to complain too much about finally getting build, but it is the go home for us. So, you know, um, video packages, blah, blah, blah. Paul Heyman comes out and he's just unveils Roman as the video game cover. And it's like not great. It's literally like he literally took a Brock Lesnar promo and inserted Roman Reigns' name. He just kept calling him the one. And I'm like, what are you doing? Is this supposed to be that on the nose? Like, or is this you guys doing your little soft mentions of Lesnar because you're testing the waters? Like, I was like, this wasn't it for me. This wasn't very good. But then I got interested because Drew McIntyre came out. He was like, oh, you don't like me for some reason, Paul, but like you should love me because if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be in the position you were in because I took away your moneymaker. I beat him, and then you were canned, which made you vulnerable enough for Roman Reigns to take advantage of you and put you in the position you are today. It's like, you're like, just let your buddy know that I'm going to target him, I'm going to beat him up, and I'm going to toss him out of the Rumble. And Heyman was like, I will pass the messages along to the tribal chief. And McIntyre was like, no, I was talking about Punk, obviously. Very nice touch. Very keeping that wheel spinning with the Punk Roman stuff, because in case we do end up going in that direction for Mania, uh, which at this point I don't know. That's why the Rumble's exciting because Mania plans are there's so many tangible ones out there that it actually is surprising for once. So it's good. This is a good Rumble. It's gonna even I just complained about the women's. It's still gonna be a really good one because they're gonna have a lot of surprise returns and hey, it could go a couple different ways, and that's good. So Drew takes on Sami Zayn. Cool. So they've been telling the story where Drew keeps losing via roll up the past 2 matches he's had in the last 3 weeks. So it's like, oh, okay, so They announced this match. It's like, okay, Sam is probably going to beat him via roll up because otherwise, why are they doing this match again? They just did it like 4 weeks ago, and they keep doing this match to the point where how could you be excited about this? Like, I know I personally wasn't. I love Sami Zayn. I really do. And I love Drew. I have no interest in this match unless they're finally going to have this be the one where Sami wins. And because they've had Drew lose via roll up twice lately, and Sami hasn't won much lately either besides the squash and the Miz. It's like, okay, Sami's going to win. Nope. Drew wins via roll up. So Sami's a fucking loser who lost to a loser. He keeps losing. I'm like, this was, I get it. You know, now Drew won via roll up because Sami is distracted because Drew's been losing because he's distracted. And now Sami's distracted with the Kevin Owens thing and the Rumble thing. And now he's letting Punk get to him. He's letting Cross get to him. So he's distracted and he loses. But why did we have, they got to split up now. They got to be on different brands. I can't watch this match again, but we're going to have to because Sami has to get a win over him. So we still need to have this one more time at some point this year. I just don't. I don't want to be, and it's weird. It's weird as a wrestling fan to complain about getting something that is technically good, but it's not that good to be getting it that much. You know, it's a bit jarring. But it led to the end of the show where Drew won and was a sore winner and it kept beating up Sami, and then Cody made the save. But then Kevin Owens came out and they're fighting, but then Drew comes back in and Sami's trying to hula kick Drew, but he moves and he kicks Cody. And then Drew laughs, leaves. KO comes and is like, yeah, good job, man. We're on the same page. Awesome. And he leaves. And then Sami's like, yo, I'm sorry. But then he leaves so Cody can cut his promo. Got interrupted by Punk. And one thing I will say is that KO and Sami was so good last week. It was KO and Sami's segment last week was better than this entire show. And I'm very invested in that aspect of it. The Rumble has so much good build across these past couple weeks, even if the shows have been a little like 6 out of 10s. You know, like the Rumble builds have still been great despite that. So I'm looking forward to the Rumble. I think it's gonna be an all-timer unless they really, really fuck it up. But we'll have some Rumble predictions hopefully this week. We'll be here for our Dynamite review on Wednesday, and hopefully our Gym Packed review, so long as our other guy who recently had surgery is fit to do it. But we got social media. You can check us out on all of them: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, the other ones. We appreciate it. Like the video if you don't mind. You know, it's been a shorter episode because it's only just me and I didn't really have that much to say about the show. But yeah, give us a like, give us a subscribe. We're doing some cool things. We're going to have some fun along the way. We go to shows, we film content, we put out a bunch of stuff for you to check out. But thank you for watching if you've made it this far or if you come here at all. But have a good night. See you at the Rumble. That's all.